What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Behind the Scenes with Ben. This is where I go behind the scenes of performance medicine. We tell a little bit about our story, tell you a little bit about us, go behind the scenes of all things performance. Last week, I gave you guys a glimpse of my journey from being a tennis player to a tennis coach to now being CEO of performance medicine. And if you haven't checked that out, I hope you will. A lot of just really cool things came out that I didn't know would come out. I talk a little bit about the family business dynamic and some of the challenges that presents, and at the same time, just some of the wonderful opportunities that come with being able to work with your family every day. I mean, my mother's behind the camera right now, and so I'm getting this time with my parents, with my brother and my sister that I wouldn't have if I was doing something else. So extremely thankful for that, Mama. I love you. So anyways, today's behind the scenes. I want to get into a little bit of the no insurance thing, and we talk a lot about this, but there's so much about it that is fascinating, and I actually want to get Dr. Rogers on a dictations episode to talk more about this, but I want to tell you what the cash-only dynamic does. Just from a patient's perspective, what you guys need to know about what's happening when you see a traditional doctor seeing who's billing Blue Cross or United versus coming and seeing a cash-only doctor, whether that's a direct primary care clinic, which we're huge fans of, or whether or not you're coming to a performance medicine or any other integrative medical practice that doesn't accept insurance. And the reason I want to talk about this is a lot of times when we say we don't take insurance, it comes across as a negative. And oftentimes we present it as a negative. Like, when I'm answering the phones, when I'm working up front in one of the offices, and I get this question, I'll be like, well, unfortunately, we don't take insurance, and you kind of just expect the conversation to end because it can be a downer. And I guess the purpose of this video is I guess to explain why we don't, and also why it's important for you guys to understand the difference. Because from your perspective, when you're going to a cash-only doctor, a cash-only provider, a cash-only practice, what's happening is the transaction is between the patient and the provider. That's the only two people involved. There's no third party. So when people refer to insurance, they talk third party, a third party payer. So from a medical practices standpoint, what's happening is a visit, you're coming in and you get just a traditional medical visit. That's I don't know the code for it, but it's a code. And what the practice does is they bill for that code to your insurance provider, whoever that might be. And that third party is what reimburses the practice. And whatever the third party doesn't cover is due to the patient. So there's three different people involved. And when you're going to a cash-only practice, there's clearly just two, is between you and him or her. And one thing Dr. Rogers talks a lot about is he's got no incentive to say something in particular to make a visit a certain type of visit. He's got no incentive to run a certain test. He's got no other incentive than to help you, the patient. And that's true of any cash-only doctor, we hope. And because that all they should care about is helping you, not the whole phrase of you can't serve two masters. And it's very difficult. And the other thing that we got to be super clear about is there's situations where insurance is such a blessing and you have to have it. We encourage everyone to have insurance. And there's medical practices, there's groups that really need to take insurance, like it serves a purpose. But I think from our standpoint, especially as educators here, at Performance Medicine Audio, at Performance Medicine in our offices, we think it's important that you guys just understand the difference. What's happening when you go to a place that's billing your insurance versus what's happening when you're going to a place that doesn't, because in all actuality, they're both working for you if you know what's happening. What the bad thing could be is if, you just don't understand it, and you're just, if somebody doesn't take insurance, you take it as a negative, or if, say you just have something against everyone who takes insurance, then well, that could also be a bad thing too. So, I think the purpose of this video is to just help you guys understand what's happening in both of the situations, that in a cash-only practice, especially in the primary care realm, in an integrative medical practice, something similar to performance medicine that isn't wouldn't be like a very high dollar procedure like a surgery, in an outpatient or inpatient hospital, something like that. It's important that you guys understand that, there's clear value and for the patient that the transaction is between you two, that the incentives are more in line than they would be possibly if there was a third-party payer involved, because you got to understand what that provider, what that doctor is thinking. The doctor's thinking, well, for one, he wants to help you. She wants to help you. The other thing is he needs to figure out a way to get paid for that visit. She needs to figure out a way to get paid for that visit. And so there's multiple things going on. And I think one reason Dr. Rogers started performance medicine with the first core value of not taking insurance is he didn't want to think about that. He didn't want to think about what he had to say or what he had to do in order to get paid for that visit. All he wanted to do was help the patient that was in front of him and just get paid directly from them. That we both win there. And that's it. So, there's so much to the insurance thing, and I'll be completely honest. I think performance medicine benefited from the not the introduction, but the popularity of the high deductible health plan that came out, and right around the time that we started in 2007. So, then $100 office visit, whether you're paying cash to a cash-only doctor, was probably going to happen even if you went to a traditional practice that, if you have a $6,000 deductible on your plan. So, so the idea being, if you're going to pay $100 anyways, which is a lot of money, you might as well go to somebody that is able to spend time with you and, not have all these other things on their minds. And of course, I say that, with complete empathy for all the practices, who are taking insurance, because, there's such a place for that. And, I think, one thing that's important for all of us to know, and for you, the listener, to know, is that there's a place for both, and we need both, and we're thankful that the system has both. So, anyways, that's it for today. I could go on and on about the cash-only deal and insurance, but I hope this gives you a little insight into, kind of, underneath the hood of what's happening at a medical practice that can help you guys, make your healthcare decisions, because, healthcare dollars are precious dollars, and we think that, I think we need to. One of our, missions is to help you guys spend those wisely, no matter where you're going. So anyways, thank you guys. Can't wait to see you next time. This is Behind the Scenes with Ben.